Welcome in, welcome in. I am so excited today. Y'all know I have this fake employment, and I have talked my fake boss into coming in to talk to you all today. So we had a bit of technical difficulties, and we're doing the best we can. But I see that y'all are coming to the stage, so I am going to welcome in our very, very good friend, Near Guy from Perfumology.
Hey,
Yay!
hello, everybody.
Yay!
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
always excited to talk to you.
Yes, and I'm always excited to talk to you. Thank you very much for having me. It's pretty exciting to be here. I know the group. I pay attention to the group, and I'm in my own little fragrant world. So I appreciate that you're having me live as and part of the group. Thank you.
Well, again, you are one of our very first friends. I think you were like our second or third interview. You were really, really up there. But more importantly, you always had so much stuff going on
Mhm.
because Perfumology is my second favorite store in the world.
Second favorite.
Mhm.
I'll take a win.
Well,
All right.
actually, it's probably my favorite store in the world, but it was my second favorite store because my favorite store was Lord and Taylor, and then they went out of business.
That's
So
fair. I'll
yeah, so
take.
you might be my favorite now.
That's tremendous. I'll take it.
There you go.
Yeah, we've got a lot of irons in the fire. It's pretty exciting. We are the week of July 4th, so I
We're
couldn't
gonna stop
resist.
because you're making assumptions. Because remember, our group has doubled, tripled in size since you were
Okay.
last here. So first, what is Perfumology? You got to tell us.
What is perfumology? Thank you very much for prompting that because I completely didn't think about it. Uh, Perfumology is a store that I started with my mom. She's Tali, I'm Near, and um, we started about 15 years ago in the industry. We had a business partner now 13 years going on and 6.5 years at Old City, Philadelphia. We're at Third and Market between Market and Arch, where we curate independent, niche, and artisan brands. I try and focus on the quality of service and the quality of perfume because our quality customers matter to me, and of course, I couldn't resist. I have a creative itch. I also want to create a brand. So I have built a brand of storytelling perfumes that fit into our storytelling perfumery.
Okay. And how'd you told us that you started with your mom,
Mhm.
but this is a long-standing business. Where did you first start?
We started at King of Prussia, and we basically had a broom closet perfume shop. We had commercial fragrances, all kinds of fragrances. I wanted the answer to be yes when you asked if I had a perfume. I wanted to know it. I wanted to understand it. So that when a customer comes up and needs guidance or just a perfume, the answer was yes. The space was too small, but my insatiable need was there. So we basically moved around King of Prussia, not because of the way the lease was, but because we had to. There was contractors. They built out the mall, and really painfully slowly at the beginning we grew. We were not performing well, but we did grow the business, and I just like fell in love with what I did. And eventually, I was like,
You
well,
were not performing well, and then you froze.
oh, well, we weren't performing well. I appreciate that. What an interesting time to freeze me. We weren't performing well, and so we had to differentiate. And I was like, well, I'm wearing these indie fragrances. I should talk about those. I should have those, not just kind of what do you have Armani Acqua di Gio, which I sold all the time in light blue. We wanted to evolve, and I followed the taste, my taste, at first. Um, I met Brian, our manager. He's currently our manager about 10 years ago. Uh, and we have Jefferson, who came on board about 2 years ago. We've had a need for more once we moved to Old City, which was right before the pandemic. So we built during the pandemic, and people supported us because we had what nobody had. That was kind of the goal, and more interesting fragrances. It was a very fascinating time to move to Old City and be part of it, and to, of course, work in independent perfume.
Well, it is an exciting time, and you've been growing quickly. And I love how you continue to curate the brands. There is literally always something new at
Mm.
Perfumology. And if I go every week and I can find something new, I want you all to know out there, there literally is always something new at Perfumology.
Yeah, in the last like week, we brought in like 5 new perfumes. In the previous week, we brought in some three. This month has been a lot. I think we can talk about the scheduling of perfume releases, which is a little ridiculous, but literally perfumes in this realm, they come in waves and they come constantly. And right now we're seeing that wave. So you for sure, when you come on Thursday, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff.
You know I'm
Uh,
coming early because I mean Chris great, but I got to get there, because I got to look at the new stuff
you're
before
going to
all them.
need some time.
Huh?
You're going to need some time. We've got Juice Box. We have Precious Liquid. Um, I'm missing a lot actually. We got Key West, but Key West from City Rhythm is probably sold out. I don't
Again.
even know.
Again.
Um, you know,
It's
it's
sold out. It's sold out online. It's sold out everywhere.
mhm.
Really quickly. Uh uh have you got the new Electimus? I actually have a list of stuff that I gotta come
Amber
look.
Blue. I
Yes.
have I have a sample from when I saw them in Italy. I don't have the fragrance yet, which is a little surprising, but it's coming. We get people asking, so we need it. But it's going to be here soon.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I have a list. I have a
yeah,
list. I have to revisit what has quickly become a favorite line that you introduced me to, which is Bond Perfumer.
yeah.
And they have this new somebody or another Riviera or something or another. Uh, what is it? I don't know. I took a picture, so
You took
I
a
was
picture. It might help me right now because I'm
their
slipping
line
too.
is so big. I
They
learned.
have a big line. We're gathering more. Again, I'm an obsessive collector myself, so I need to have them. It's kind of partly why we have so many fragrances. And so it's if I don't have it, which I should have it. No, I have it. I saw it today. I literally picked it up and sprayed it on myself. What am I thinking? But I don't remember any details because I'm focused.
But, well, we're getting there. I was
Um,
just giving people time to get here because they're getting
yeah,
here, and I see that they're getting
yeah.
actually they're following along on my personal webpage. That's the one that's
Mhm.
actually going along. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to give people some time. Of course, our friend Lois from Delaware is here. Say
I
hi
will.
to Lois. Yes, and she's a big fan, and I'm a big fan just
I'm
for
a,
her. She's so great. Um,
she's super sweet. Yeah.
yeah, she's just so great. She's the definition of a genteel lady.
Yeah, and you know what I love about Lewis is that yeah, you get excited in our shop. There's a lot of people who get excited in our shop, but like watching her get excited is like the detailed kind of excited. She already knows. She's already aware, and when she doesn't know and she isn't aware, she quickly dives in. So that's the type of person that we excel with. We're like the flower and the honeybee in the sense that we bring people like that and they share it with others. Um, and I've noticed that a lot more lately. And it's interesting because we had somebody, um, he posted on his Instagram stories how much like he couldn't handle duty free. He couldn't handle the department store. He didn't like it. He thought he didn't like perfumes anymore. Comes to our shop with somebody and just is blown away that the fragrance result is different than what he's experienced. Um, this is one example in the last 2 days, uh, and I've been seeing it more and more. So people like her, Lewis, are bringing more friends, telling more people, and that's been multiplying and why we've been so busy and why we've been capable to do more. My problem is fun. Uh, I'm literally at my limit. I have found the limit of where we are and the capability. And so now it's like, how do we level up? And I've figured that out. I know what I need to do. Um, but the space and our current stage is like a wonderful spot.
Yeah, it gets hard. It gets hard. I mean, like I said, I know I find something every time I come,
Mhm.
and but I guess the reason I keep coming is uh, the experience.
Thank you.
Earlier there was a question that was posed about like somebody was frustrated in the first perfume space, and so they posted, "Let's put a list together of these brands and stores that are bad, providing bad service. So we're
Yeah.
gonna." And this, I mean, I was just like, ooh, let me grab my popcorn and
Okay.
sit back here because I was just like, because I know ain't nobody about to talk about perfumology because you better not say nothing bad about perfumology, okay? Because I'm about to get in living color on them, but I don't have to worry about it because it's the exact opposite response when we talk about perfumology. Everybody, what did Lois just say? I always feel so welcome. It
Thank you.
is every
Thank you.
every single time that I walk in. And one of the things, and I guess the reason I can tell everybody to come is because I have every faith and confidence that even when I'm not there repping you, even when you're not in the store, that the store reps you. That it's the
Yeah.
idea of you are welcome, you are family. And I think it's so great.
So I really appreciate that. And that is something that I work really hard at, and my mom and our team. I was saying, so we have two newer employees. They've been with us just shy of 4 months, three and change. And I was telling one of them, Cami, I was like, our secret sauce is the people and how we treat them. We are special. We want to be here. We like all of us actually love coming to work, and it doesn't really feel like it is work. It's hard. But what we do is special, and so we get to do this. This is a special thing that is joyous. And I think that attitude, that perspective allows more freedom, and for our customers, whether it's their first time or 100th time, because there's people who've been with us certainly more than 100 times, maybe even this year. So there's people who just love to come, and I'm thrilled that they're there.
People who just
Um,
love to come.
yeah,
There are people who love to pretend to work there. So
yeah. I mean, you're not alone in that. And I'm
I
like, well, you
know.
don't work here. And they're like, shut up and give me the box. Tell me where to put it. It's like that type of thing. And it's because I think like everybody wants to be there. Everybody who walks in these doors, whether they buy something or not, or it's $1,000 sale or a $10 sale, I'm happy to serve them. And if it's not this person right now, they might share the experience with somebody else, and that person brings somebody else, and so it just kind of multiplies. And it's a real honor is that I've had a couple people tell me that their experience with our store has encouraged them to go into this industry. I give them a really scary speech and tell them don't do it,
And then
basically.
they're like,
Uh,
whatever, here I come.
yeah, but like my speech is kind of like invigorating in a way. It's sort of like this, like you said that we do really well with our customers, and I know every like I can recall every time that didn't go well. Right, it drives me crazy. It's literally kept me up at night. And so how do we avoid that? How do we welcome people, make sure that they feel good, no matter who they are or what's going on? And this perfumery is an escape, and it is also something that is artwork and provocative, right? So all of these things can be true, and we allow for that space in our shop. And I'm so happy that people get that.
I'm telling you, just for you guys who are down in the chat and things, I can just tell you, I just forgot the perfumer, the owner of BDK. What's his name? I forgot his
David
name.
Benedict. David
But it
Benedict.
was the guy that came first, the who was from the one who was on time because he was coming in from Paris.
Um,
I forgot
was
his
it
name. But anyway,
Nicholas?
huh?
Nicholas?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
The one that got there first from New York, that guy.
sure.
So he was dying laughing because
Yeah,
he was like, he's like, oh, he's like, so how long have you worked here? I had my shimmy cloth out polishing bottles. And he's like,
you
what are you
were.
doing? I'm like, oh, the
I
people are
still
gonna
have
be
it. You
there.
left it
I
at
was
the
like, I
store.
touched the
Yeah.
bottle, I gotta polish the bottles. He was like, oh, that is like, you guys are so worried about the presentation. There's gonna be a whole display. I'm like, yes, but till the display gets here, we gotta polish the bottles. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, he said, I see you guys are so fastidious. We love it. He's like, how long you been working here? I said, I don't work here.
And, and think about this, like
I'm
he
like, but the
sees,
people are coming, and we gotta represent.
yeah, we gotta look good, right? All of us
Yes,
want to make a special experience just for ourselves, but our guests, right? And you feel like they're your guests
I
too.
do.
And how many people do you think were like you there? There were at least three others who I can
Somebody
name.
else was. sweeping the floor because they were like, no, there's dust over here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're doing it's
It's such a
I mean, Cheryl, she act like she the catering service no matter when she comes. It's like
right. And
I'm
it's my
like,
mom's food. Like my mom's bringing the food. In that case, my dad wasn't the one serving the drinks, but like my dad's usually like carrying the tray, and so that feeling of welcome home in our shop is the whole key. That's the
so for you
secret
guys
sauce.
who've never been there, what it reminds you of is Main Street sophistication. And the reason I'm going to call it that is because it's like a hokey mom and pop store at its
Mhm.
heart. It just looks elevated and sophisticated, but it's like walking in the Cheers where everybody knows your name. It is it like, hey, welcome, is this your first time? Oh, so did somebody tell you about us? Is there anything you're looking for? And and you can just see, I have seen it when people walk through, and I've really seen it because now we're going to the next phase. Y'all know Philadelphia is the birthplace of our nation, and we are a World Cup host. We're a World Cup host, and every time I go, there is a soccer team in there. Every single time, the soccer fans are walking around. They're so
Right.
excited to be in Philly. And Perfumology is in Old City. It is 3 blocks from the Liberty Bell. So it's really like just in the mix. It's in the
Mm-hmm.
mix. And so people are like, oh, this is really cute. And, there are a couple of little historic shops like, Franklin Fountain and things. So people are just
Mm-hmm.
walking around and they wander in and you see first, what is this place? And
Yeah.
do I belong here?
Right.
You see the trepidation because people have a certain thing, even when you're talking about international travelers, of what they expect a perfume store to look like or to feel like, most importantly, especially when you were talking about, we had Brazilians and Italians, and we had Brazilians, Italians, some UK, some folks from England. And when I was there, we had a whole bunch of the Ecuador people were there.
Yeah.
And they had a very, very specific kind of, and they come in and every single person is like, do you have mind games? And do you, like everybody that walks in, do you have mind games? Do you have Initio? Do you have perfumes?
Specific strong smells, right?
Yes, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And every single time it's like, no, but they do carry mind games, but no, well, we're very niche. We try to be local. We try to be artisan. We like to try to hit all price points. What are you even interested in? And I'm gonna tell you, I ain't seen one of them people leave without a bag. But more importantly, I didn't see 5 minutes in, they are officially family and they want to talk to me in Italian. I have no idea, but here I come, because you know what? A smile is international.
Yeah. And it happens quite quickly. And it's honestly kind of my attitude too. Cause like I was in Paris with my mom and there was this guy and he's giving the American tourists attitude in their store. It's a kitchen store. And he's like, what do you want? It's my job to do this. Like that type of thing. And in my head, I was like, 30 seconds. I give myself 30 seconds to make this guy crack a smile and love me. And by the end of 20 seconds, the guy was having a great time. Right. So, I was like, tourists, right? Like that type of thing, and it's me, I'm talking about me. And he just kind of like chilled out. And everybody wants to ultimately have a great time. And this is my home. The shop is my home, right? I welcome you. And I'm thrilled that you want to be in it. And thank you for
Now they
coming,
come
right?
to
Like,
your home and you
yeah.
let them smell your babies.
Yes, yeah, and they are because it's storytelling and it's what I want to experience.
No, but I mean the one you actually have given birth to recently.
Yeah, and
So
I've got
I just
one
talk
coming
about
too.
the ones, them your nieces and nephews. That them your nieces and nephews, you love them and you want to talk about them and you want to coddle them. Okay,
Well,
but you gave birth and he gave birth again recently, y'all.
As close as I'm going to get to giving birth. And so the ultimate thing is that I'm going to be doing stuff that is storytelling, and I do view perfumes as kind of orphaned babies, right? And so I do want to find them a good home with their love, but you're talking about this, uh, or this, which is the pursuit of happiness.
This is
It's
what
coming up.
happens when we do these at 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
5 minutes. Okay, you
time
see
that
him.
up.
He loves to be on the camera. Okay,
Love
please.
to be on
And
camera.
he was like,
Mine,
he's crawled up here all the way. So I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, go ahead.
that's okay. Mine's right
Hey,
here.
Truly, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, we had, and just so y'all know, we had a bit of an emergency. I'm not going to share things. So it to do the live stream and the multicast requires two distinct computers operated at the same time. You know, Facebook makes it hard and it wouldn't let us. So we appreciate you coming on over here for anybody who shared in the group, because I see you are letting them know that we're over here on YouTube, but we will share this as always in the group. And still, y'all should pay attention because, you know, I have counted who's on here because y'all know how it go with the giveaway. Anyway, y'all know the rules. Anyway, but but the reason that we had to come in today, very specifically, I was adamant that you were not going to do your full review and preview, and the folks did not know about you giving birth, because I feel like one of the midwives, and I'm gonna say one of the midwives, not the one that delivered the baby, but you know, the one that been in for the checkups when the real doctor wasn't
You're
around.
checking in and you're making sure that I'm picking the right mods and the right notes. And am I nuts or not nuts? Or is this good or is it not good? And you were part of the group that I asked a few people, hey, what do you think of this? And I might ask, like at our events, I definitely, like, we stepped outside, sniffed something during an event. But we also have, I also like to ask like totally random people, hey, you're not going to lie to me, smell this and tell me what you think. Now we're in a perfumery, so it makes sense. And I hand the blotter, um, and what was interesting about this perfume is the mixed reaction, because this intentionally opens kind of abrasive. It opens with fireworks, and so let's jump into it and talk about what the pursuit of happiness is, the inspiration, why we're releasing it this week, because it's something pretty cool, and I'm really happy about that. The pursuit of happiness is inspired by America 250 and our history and what it is to be kind of like an American and that type of thing. And so it opens with fireworks and grapefruit rinds, and it's about 3 minutes of like fireworks display, and it has that smoke
Down
to
to
it,
the burn.
down
So
to the
you know when
burn.
the
Yeah.
fireworks go off and
Hmm.
you get the smoke feeling and the metallic feeling,
Hmm.
somehow they encapsulated that. It's actually really kind of freaky, but
Yeah,
very
but also, like, for me, fireworks are short lived, um, and it's quite violent, right? So that spark had to be the very top. So it'll be confusing to people being like, I heard this is good, or if they even hear that, kind of hoping, for it to go into a pool party, right? So you start with families out at the fireworks, and then you go home and you chill out by the pool and you have a drink. And so it's a watermelon and tuberose perfume with pool water. It literally smells like pool water on the skin. So, but a little bit nicer. It's not just chlorine. We don't use that in our perfume. And it goes into a sandalwood, blue cypress, and musky base. The musk being a uh, and you'll hear from this, right? So that's red, white, and blue, um, right? Ruby red grapefruit with kind of the blue firework to open, and it's the rind, the pithy rind of the grapefruit. It's the watermelon and the tuberose, right, and pool water. So you get red, white, and blue, and then you get the blue cypress, the cedar wood, which is the white, and the sandalwood, which is the red. So it's literally red, white, and blue, top to bottom. Um, it is intentional. It is incredibly well thought out. Chris Undy from Cult of Kaori is the perfumer behind this, and I joke, I say we fight for a long time. It's back and forth. Like Chris and I don't fight, I don't fight with any of the perfumers. It's kind of back and forth until we decide the ultimate question: do we like this? And do we like this enough to release it? How will it be perceived is another thing, but I'm super excited because the thing that you're talking about, Danielle, is the very last decision that we made, which was a standard version, right? So we have two versions, and this one, this is the bottle. This is the standard version of the Pursuit of Happiness, and this uh,
Show that side, baby. Show that side. You got to
this
see the whole thing.
this is the other side with the Declaration of Independence, right? Let's
Is
see if
that
I
cool? Is that's so cool? So
yeah.
much work went into this.
Oh,
So much work went into
I
this.
this just I don't have any of the other samples here, but there's different caps that we tried, different designs, different colors. I chose to only produce 3 of the samples out of 10 designs. I'm obsessive. This is the first bottle that we painted like this. All our other ones are clear with a paper label and a wood cap, which represents kind of the colors of our shop. And this one had to be red, white, and I honestly missed blue. I do regret that honestly, but this here is what I wanted to make. And the reason I didn't realize that is because the other bottles were blue. So I was like, which, I did a white one, I did a blue one, I did a red one. And so it was like, this one's the one I want to make. And I was too hyper focused on that and a couple other details. So the end
you all
result was
don't
blue.
know, but when Near says that he's a collector, please understand he's a collector. So he can get mired in the minutia because it's very much what he also wants to see and experience. So please know that he looks at it like a consumer as well as somebody who wants to collect perfume. Are you going to want to collect his perfume?
I don't even know if I can see it quite like a consumer anymore because I'm so I judge everything. I have the Liberty Bell in the bottom of our perfume here, right? The amount of detail I put into stuff that nobody's going to really pay attention to, including like the rim here.
Y'all pay attention as he describes this here bottle. I'm gonna just tell you that.
So like the bottle has feet, right, to keep it steady. It has 3 feet. All perfumes have to have like 3 feet, basically. And so I got really got bogged down into the minutia of that. This bottle here, it's gold. This one is Extrait de Parfum. Let me show you the other one. And I'm not going to spray this one because we photographed this but it's a numbered release. This one here is number 76, right? So there are 3 bottles that I chose to protect, which I will lose on purpose. Number 76, which is for the photos, number 1 and number 250. And that's because they look the same, right? Like if you look at these, other than the number, what's that?
What were the numbers again that you're protecting? I mean, that you're going to lose? Number 76.
Oh, I'm going to lose all of them. I hope everybody.
No, but you're saying number 76, number 150.
Once I put it in this box, I'm not going to know which ones it is. We will have different labels between the standard edition. In working, we called it standard edition versus the limited edition. They smell differently. They are 2 different formulas, but they accomplish the same thing. The notes breakdown is the same, but the result is different. And of course, the budget was comically different. And so
what's the difference in the price point?
The difference to the consumer, I'm just going to eat the one for this, but because it is more expensive to produce, there's a few reasons for that, including things like the sandalwood that we chose, and the accords that we built, and how simple one is or complicated the other. For just like there's an amber accord that's not even listed, where it is not exactly simple. It's just not like this one. We got carried away. And so when I share the 2 formulae, something happens. Some people really prefer this. Some people really prefer the special edition.
I think it was the special edition is the one that I was in love with, right?
Yeah.
The harder one. The
Yes. So that
the
was
more
the lower number, and then the decision that you were helping me out the most.
just so y'all know, I don't know. There literally it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what
Yeah.
that's like. Okay, so it's like, is this 6? Is this 4? That's how I know
Yeah.
them. So
That
I,
that's the conversation. So the answer is special edition is number 4,
okay.
right?
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
and once that was done, I actually hated it. And then once we let it sit, it had to macerate. And then I went back to it. I like put it away in my bag for a couple weeks, and I put it on. I was like, let's go through them again because I do that. Oh my god, this is different. Chilled out. The top isn't as sharp. Uh, so I do expect this to change in people's, like when they get this. This is going to change quite drastically, right? So this will change because I know how long we let it macerate for, and I know how long the other mod sat for, and then how long it took for it to adjust and kind of what I say is chill out. But then we made this one, which this one the question was 7 or 8. 8 had a woody amber element to it to make it more mass appeal. I thought to myself, this is going to be something that people might want. We're going to want tourists to love it. And the truth is that we amplified certain musks in number 7 and amber woods in number 8. And
Oh,
I felt like woody ambers are great, but that wasn't the story I wanted to tell. It like I had decided, I had asked a bunch of people, which one do you like more? And to me, the answer was not the woody amber. It wasn't the woods of the amber that I was looking for. It was the softer one that kind of made me think of going to the pool next to the woods, but it just didn't quite work. And by the way, when I shared it with people, they couldn't tell the difference. A lot of people can't tell the difference between these two, and a lot of people couldn't tell the difference between 7 and 8.
yeah, thinking I can see why that would be.
Yeah,
For me, I could tell the difference in the after effect of the firework note,
yeah, yeah.
and I really like pool scents. I
So
like so it's not the chlorine, it's for me it was like the aeration of it, if that makes sense. Kind
yeah,
of
it's
like
like a fresher smell.
yes, and I
Um,
like that because it's not generally a fragrant. That's not one. I knew what you were trying to achieve, meaning the goal was that this was really symbolic in those things.
yeah.
So this is one of those. This is one of those sense where I've said people have to. Sometimes you appreciate perfumery even when it's not what you would normally reach for.
And I think,
So that freshness aspect would not be something that I would normally reach for.
yeah,
That kind of like almost burnt metallic for no other way in the opening, like just but it draws me in. I love that.
yeah.
And I love the pithy grapefruit. And specifically for me, it's one of those blood red grapefruits. One of the, that are very rare and that can either they're going to be sour and then go tremendously sweet, or they're going to be like hard and never juicy. You know what I'm talking
So
about?
So the intent was to be intentionally pithy, like the inside of the
Mm-hmm.
rind, of a sweet ruby red grapefruit, right? Chris did really well with that, and you mentioned the gunpowder, the fireworks, and the smoke of it. Um, that's one of the major differences is how complicated this is with the special edition in comparison to not complicated. This is still complex, it's just not excessively complex, right? There's something in perfumery where high level perfumers want the fragrance to be 20 materials or less, and then there's an argument over is it a good one if it has more, and to me the answer is always in the consumer, not in terms of sales but in terms of joy. Like, is this good for me, right? There's a perfume from Nasamato called Fantomas, and I can't stand it. I don't understand why people like
I
it,
love it too.
and I don't get it, and I'm not going to, right? and that's okay. Like that serves a purpose. I've worn it enough times. I'm not going to get it, and I'm glad that it exists for the people who enjoy it. Um, this is an example of a fragrance that is a storytelling fragrance. It is made to be fun. It is made to be a fun story to tell. But ultimately, like I did want it to be like a hot summer day, July 4th, Independence Day party, in a bottle. And what I love about it is how well we did at creating it.
Oh, and it's very wearable. I want y'all
Yeah,
to know that. It
yeah,
actually is very, very wearable.
yeah.
So this
But
is
I
not one of those where it's so artistic that you're like, okay, I'm
the
gonna start
first
a
3 minutes,
conversation because I'm going to carry the bottle around. No,
yeah,
this is very wearable and it's an enjoyable wear.
yeah, and the first 3 minutes are like maybe a concussive fireworks display, but it isn't. It is made to be worn. It is made to be enjoyed, right? So yes, art, but not too crazy or limited in its insanity. Because I've gone down that path, and I still want to wear good perfume. I have that, right, and I will continue to explore it, but I want something that is fun and wearable, and that people will get a kick out of it, and so that was the goal. Which again, this is made to accomplish the more wearable thing. This is made to be the more like, okay, if you would, the original. Let's do this to Chris. This is the Mona Lisa, and this is not. This is it's lithograph. This
So,
is
question with
yeah.
that, how did you choose to work with Chris? He's so artistic.
I'll tell you what it is. I wanted to work with somebody local, and I'm friends with the folks who are local, and so my answer was that it was him or Justin, and Justin and I are about to release more perfume. Um, and so Chris and I hadn't done anything yet beyond working kind of him asking me my opinion on his fragrances, right, for his brand, and maybe other people. Um, and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, man, do you want to do this? I have a pretty wild idea," and I was pretty vague in my description. I did tell him that I wanted to go through those phases. Um, I did tell him it had to be red, white, and blue, but I gave him a lot of freedom of expression. And so he's the one who chose to add gin. He's the one who chose to add cool water, things that I didn't think about. Um, uh, it was him who, like Chris Undy, by the way, again, just to say it, Chris Undy really understood kind of what we were going for in terms of both fun and wearable, while also kind of serious or tongue in cheek about a serious topic. To enjoy the process of producing it. I kind of have a rule with my perfumers and the people I work with. If it's not fun to do, maybe we shouldn't do it. Um, and so I ask kind of around that question, like, right, does this sound fun? Does this sound enjoyable? Because life is serious enough, and I do want to create a serious brand, but this one is for the fun, and to be nostalgic, and so this is like, I remember going to the park and seeing fireworks display with my friends, with my family, and uh, and how that felt in the chest as it kind of lights up the sky, and that was the point.
So are both fragrances limited release?
No, just the limited. We're making exactly 250 bottles. We have 25 testers, so you might see some unnumbered limited editions, like around. That'll be what we have on our shelf and stuff. Um, but this is the wide release. This one's going to stick around. I very much enjoyed the process of producing this fragrance, so it makes sense for us to continue making it. But to be fair, we don't make high volume fragrances. There's 250 of this, and at the moment, there's like 100 and change of this one. Because I do expect people to pick up the limited first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because frankly, if you like, I'm not going to say like if you like one or the other. Like I really believe that this is the better perfume. But I let us get carried away with some stuff, and I'm very happy about that. So I was like, all right, how do we? The reason that this is mod 4 and this is mod 7, again with adjustments between them, just so you guys know, it's not a pure 7 or 8. The reason is that I liked this so much. I was like, green light, let's go. And then he gave me the budget. I was like, hold on a
You're like,
second.
let's rethink this.
I
Well, I'm
need
going to tell
to,
you. Apparently, this fireworks note is going to just tear it down. I just
yeah,
want you to know this. The fireworks note, I'm just seeing in here and on my front page. Everybody wants to know about fireworks.
yeah, yeah. And it's kind of a play on gunpowder. It's kind of a play on smoke, where it is a metallic smoke, but it has to be wearable because metallic smells does typically not work. It is a very finite number of people who like it. It's peppery, which again, so like this one is more peppery. They're both excellent. I love the peppers that we used in this, but it's more peppery to excess, and that's the point. And that goes into the abrasiveness of the black powder. The smoke is quite bright, and so we saw in both, like that's kind of where my mind focuses, is on this peppery smoke. Um, Very brief, and it gets into the like the tuberose, by the way, is like creamy. It's
Yes.
not.
Well, so I'm going to speak on that because
Mm,
the world knows me and white florals ain't friends. So,
yeah,
so this is one that I can wear. There was absolutely no reaction at all. You know, because I think it's covered in smoke. It's for me, it's because it's covered in smoke. That's what I'm gonna say. She comes in, but she comes in with the pool water note, with that kind of
yeah,
ozonic, like chlorine freshness, for nothing else to say better. Like, and I think that you guys know that's been like, a couple of different brands have put some like, kind of pool water kind of
mhm,
vibes out there. But they're always associated with like drinking by the pool, right? Um, and they try to dampen it by putting some fruit on it, or dampen it by putting, this is the first one I've seen that is dampening that aspect with a white floral. I
yeah.
thought that was very interesting for me.
Um, yeah, I think that it's balanced because like it's we wanted a perfume that it captures softness in the heart. It is a very beautiful thing to be an American. I think that it's pretty special to be here, but understanding that it is explosive. So like that's part of the play. And so how nice is it? And so tuberose is a really beautiful flower. It can be dirty. It can be bubblegummy. It can be creamy, which is where we went. And so we wanted it to be part of the smooth part of the telling, right? We could have gone dirtier with it, and I think that that doesn't work for you. And I think the bubblegum part really doesn't work for you, especially because if you balance it with something that is jasmine or a powdery orange blossom, that's going to drive you crazy. White florals don't work with you, so they frankly sometimes work with me, but I need it covered in stuff. Um, I need it to be, give me that maple syrup on the pancakes type of thing, right? So just make it more tasty. And I think that's where the watermelon comes in. I think that's where our woods also play in, while making it long lasting. Both the sandalwood and the cypress last a really long time.
They're happy about tuberose, but very specifically, it's the smoke.
So Randolph, I'm going to agree with you because I really love smoke. I want to make a smoky perfume. I have smoky perfumes, right? So if I want that smokehouse, I always go to A City on Fire by Imaginary Authors. Um, and I personally can't get enough. I really enjoy it. It makes me think of, like, again, nostalgia, going to childhood, campfire, that type of thing. So I get tons of joy out of it.
I put
Uh,
the city on fire with the waffle cone.
yeah, which is funny, right? So you get like the smoky ice cream cone, right? Like that's wild. And it works. It works. And so I'm always looking for smoke. There was this guy, um, we had this amazing customer who like would message me once a quarter and be like, "Yo, you got any new smoke? Give me some smoke." And he had something like 1,500 perfumes, and his thing was smoke. Like he looked for every single type of smoke that he could get. Sometimes he would blind buy him, but he'd be like, "All right, I'm on my way." Drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours, get to our shop, be like, "This is the one, great. Let me try it." And he would go nuts every time he came to visit. Uh, Really good guy. And so I've been thinking about smoky perfumes ever since. Um, and so I'm glad to have it. We used incense and clutch, which ended up being kind of different than I originally started with. It smelled kind of like gasoline in the start at the beginning. It doesn't smell like gasoline at all. Now it's kind of chill and creamy. It's a balmy, woody vanilla with ginger, so it's both bright and relaxed. Um, and so I see all these things. Um, I had a conversation with a brand owner. I won't name this person a couple days ago on Sunday. And I was like, and she was like, "Where do you get inspiration?" I'm like, "I can't turn the faucet off. Like it just doesn't stop. I have notes, but I have like 50 things that I can't stop thinking about. And I'm not going to forget because I can't stop thinking about them." When the pursuit of happiness occurred to me, I was like, "Oh, everything's getting tabled. This is next. This is my focus. After this, we're releasing 11 more perfumes this year, is the plan." Um, and that's because we're launching a line. I don't have the samples I had before with me. I wanted to bring them back for our live, but I got swamped and didn't think about it. And so we have a new
I didn't
line.
know whether or not we were going to talk about them. So when you didn't
I'll
have
talk
them, I didn't
about
know
it.
if we were going to talk about
I'll,
them.
I'll talk about it, and then we're going to talk about what it's like to run an independent small perfume shop.
Okay.
Um, so because there's like hiccups. You talk about like the reputation is stellar. Well, that's because I tend to not show certain things, and we do our best to treat people well. Um, but we have two more perfumes from our regular line. That will be an incredible challenge or difference. And then I've got another thing that I'm working on with the biggest name perfumer that we've worked with so far. And I've worked with Natalie Feistauer, so this person's a pretty big deal, I think. Um, and then we have a new line called Perfumology Accords, or Accords by Perfumology.
Well, I'm gonna just
And
tell you this, nephew Rob, that's Randolph Jackson there, the Randolph Alexander. Is that Near said go big or go home, because I that's one of the things I like about him, because Near is all about doing the absolute most. Okay, y'all don't know about this new sports car that he just got. It is the absolute most. It's
we're
like,
not going to talk about the car. We're going to focus on the perfumes. And
but I'm just saying, it's part of your personality. Let me do the most. So that's right. Go big or go home. And I didn't know we were going to talk about these accords. And I'm going to introduce this and say, so many times people ask me, what's your favorite perfume at Perfumology?
uh,
And then I immediately take them over to J7, the foundation.
yeah,
And I forgot to pull it out because it's usually right here, but I pulled it down so that I could have it for tonight, and called myself dusting it off and having it pretty, and then didn't put it back.
that's okay. I'm
Because I
glad we're using
literally
it.
wear it at least 4 out of 7 days a week.
Yeah,
So that's the reason I say it's my favorite perfume, because it just makes everything better.
yeah.
So and that's one of his initial accords or enhancers. So I'm excited that now he's revamping his first line, because that's the other thing. That was actually his first line, y'all. And that he's given it the
It's
real
not. Forgive
near.
me with the semantics. It's not, but I love that you're doing it. And actually, but at the same time, it is a better example of where we start, right? So I'm sorry to cut you off, Danielle.
No,
I
that's
can't
great.
resist.
That's what I was gonna say, because
Uh,
this is it's really getting, the point was it's really getting the near obsessive doing the most part of perfumology now. Like,
so
because these accords are doing the most, y'all.
I mean, I think, well, yeah, yes, they're doing the most, and they're doing it smart. So we have a lot of people who layer. Obviously, I want to have fun with that. I want people to enjoy the process, and we have a couple of things where we need to introduce quality at a certain price. I think that our brand does that very well. I think we need to have the ability to layer and kind of create your own, but do it quickly. And the only way to do it quickly is to layer. That's the only way to properly fast make something custom on you at the moment. And this takes me a year. This takes me 2 years. This takes me 5 years to make something like this. Um, and I'm still taking an excessive amount of time to produce the accords. I'm just being a little bit different and doing several at a time. So the accords are accords. It is a simpler formula. It is still accurate for what it is. And your favorite foundation is a musk. It is made to be a foundational element of perfume, fixatives, and a fragrance. It's a handful of fixatives that are designed to layer with things. And so I got excited in making it. And if you buy it right now, it comes in a very simple Victor glass with a gold pump and a simple clam overshell cap. You've probably seen this bottle around. It's not what you can buy on Amazon, but it is something you've seen. You've been like, I've seen this bottle, you know, and it's the most popular bottle out there. And to me, it's like I did it because it looks not, like nice enough, uh, and I want to do better. Again, I have a custom bottle. Like this is with our name in it, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, you didn't really show that
So
part off.
no, and like again, I like details. I
Rub your
like
hand over it so they can
I
see.
like I
The
like
glass is,
details.
no, rub your hand over the perfumology part so they
Oh,
can see
like
that
this part,
yeah,
like
see,
that.
yeah, it's not painted on. It is the glass.
It is glass. It is the glass. Yeah, there we go. So
Yep. Yes,
I'm a
he
I'm
just
a
said Auntie did tell me how many bottles I had of foundation.
I'm I'm super obsessed with details. And again, the details that nobody sees, right? So, how many Easter eggs can I fit? What am I going to do here that makes people look at stuff, right? And these are the simple things. But are you going to notice that my bottle is curvy on the inside? Like, no, but I'm going
Yeah,
to fight
'cause
the
I thought it
factory
was the
about
cutest
it.
thing ever.
Um, but
I
like
only noticed it though because it's so unique.
yeah, but like I remember the factory being like, we can't do that. I was like, okay, can you do it anyway? And that became a thing for like 2 weeks. Where I'm looking up stuff and they're checking their sources and to change factories. Like that type of thing where it's the detail matters. So now I have the Accords, and the money's in the liquid inside. And I was like, let's put some money in the packaging, give it a proper presentation, um, and the goal is to have people buy more than one. And I'm showing it to people, and I immediately get people like, "Yo, I want this for my store." I'm getting stores like they don't know what it smells like. They're like, "Give it to me." So the detail is in its excitement. So we are doing pineapple, which is on the shelf right now. Half of these are on the shelf right now, half of them aren't. Pineapple, peaches and cream, foundation, of course, pistachio. That's new. We're doing roses by Sarah McCartney. These are rose by Sarah McCartney. Justin did the pineapple. Justin Frederico. Justin did foundation. He's got a lot more in the tank. We're going to do a lot more, and the rest are Natalie Feistauer with jasmine. Sorry, not jasmine. We haven't done that yet. Tuberose and gardenia, two different perfumes. not for you, but they do get requested all the time.
Yes.
People ask us for honeysuckle all the time. I mean,
I
I'm
was
like,
waiting. I was wondering whether or
yeah,
not you were going to get to that one
I
because
show honeysuckle, and people are like, I don't care, give it to me now.
yes,
Like,
when even when he just talked about it in the store, everybody was like, "I want this is the one I want. I want to smell it.
yeah,
I want which one is this?" So
and it's so pretty. Um, to me, the hard one was tuberose because we've smelled it enough times that I was like, is this good? You know, like, is this how I want to represent tuberose? And the answer is it is. It is great. The other thing is that I do want to share. I'm going to do multiples of certain notes because this isn't just this is English tea rose. We called it tea rose. So Sarah McCartney, London based, please make me English tea rose. I'm obsessed with roses. I grow roses. I have English roses. They're branded David Austin roses. So I get a kick out of that. I'm like, that's the rose I want. Do you know what these roses smell like? She says, yes. This one specifically? Yes, let's do it. And I'm not releasing notes because it's blunt. There's a ton of stuff going on in there, but I'm not releasing anything. I don't feel like I have to. Yeah, the pineapple. We were back and forth on pineapple. At first, I said to Justin, Justin, I need a pineapple. Give me like a fragrance, like what goes into Aventus. And he's like, you sure? I was like, yeah. I mean, there's a ton of pineapple perfumes out there. Give me that. And I smelled it. I was like,
why would anybody?
oh, this is simple. This smells like syrup. And he's like, yeah, but like that's what goes into perfume and just blunt, like you asked. I was like, hold on a second. First lesson in the Accords. All right, I have this pineapple from childhood that's the size of my fist today. And I was a kid, so it was bigger. It was both of my fists, I guess, because I was half the size. And so give me the juiciest yellow pineapple of your life. And he gives it to me like a week later, which is like when he gives it to me in a couple days, in a few days, I know he's excited. And so he gives it to me. I'm like, we're done. I don't have to play games
That
this day.
pineapple, y'all.
And
I'm
then I
just
spend a
like,
month second guessing it. But like it's juice. Like I am salivating about this perfume. It is juicy pineapple. And when people smell, I had somebody come
I
in.
should have played with that because I should have played with that when the with the Oud Paradiso. I should have played with that. I'm gonna play with that.
That works.
I'm gonna play with that.
Oud Paradiso is a little bit sweet and fruity yet creamy. It has some musks that softens it a lot, and so Oud Paradiso would really work with that pineapple and give it like a super bright
Yeah, I just want to
full
play with it.
path.
You know.
Say again.
I said I just want to play with it. See, I had to have a plan. I mean, I do have to blow like 3 hours before Chris
3 hours. You're
before
more
Chris
than
gets
welcome. Help me set up. We're going to be putting up a lot of stuff. I'm very excited about our event with Chris. Chris Collins is a really nice guy. We've known him since he had 3 perfumes. We started together when I was in King of Prussia. Perfumology was in King of Prussia. I see him at my first ever trade show, second trade show, second, whatever, New York now. I meet my son Duquesne, and I remember meeting them, and it's him and Andre at the time, Francois and Andre, and he's like, "Come back in a few minutes." And I come back and I meet Chris, who's handsome as can be, and I'm talking to him, and I'm like, you know what, I really want these fragrances, and I was struggling at that time, right? That was before we moved to Old City,
Mm-hmm.
and so he had he had different everything. Like the bottles are the same, but he had paper labels, and I was struggling. Like I couldn't order 3 fragrances for the store, but we did, and now he's got like a more than a dozen, um, and he's discontinuing stuff that I helped launch, and it's pretty amazing. And he's from day one sweet. He is uh, always open to chat with our community. So like come out and have a conversation with him. Brilliant person. He's very smart. What he knows what he's creating, so he understands this work. Um, so to be able to do that at this level and to watch him grow is spectacular. Um, I do miss the days where we were one of a few retailers to carry him, but like I don't. I'm really happy to like. There's a part of me that's like, I knew I was right. I knew this person was special. Chris is not just a handsome face. He is a genuine soul in this industry, making something he wants to make, and that is what I want to carry at all levels of the art. And some people want to make fashion pieces. I have a couple of fashion pieces. Some people some people are want to create a soulless business, and I'm not as into that. And so I notice them. Sometimes we have them, sometimes we get rid of them, sometimes we don't. But Chris is a good guy, and so the RSVP list is like, I'm so excited to meet him because you should be, and he's going to talk about his fragrances with you.
My I don't know if you saw my little silly little AI thing. He was like me on my way to go meet Chris to see Chris Collins or whatever.
Yeah,
And then I get all these inboxes. Wait a minute, he's actually going to be there? Because
yeah,
like they saw, I was like, yeah, no, he's going to be there.
I'm
No,
getting
wait a
them
minute,
too.
he's going to be there. I'm there
Yeah,
like
like
just we
Chris
just thought about
himself.
the brand. I'm
Yeah,
like, he's the brand. Like there's
yeah.
no representative for World
So
Chris Collins. That's
people think people think it's a bigger company than it is. There's literally Chris and one person sometimes.
yep.
It's Chris. It's Chris. Chris is pushing the buttons and pulling the levers. He's not the one creating the fragrance, bottling them for you. Thank God he's not at that stage. He's at a much different stage. And Chris built a really like legitimate business that's pretty spectacular. And he the person is accessible. And that's what I'm excited for, is that people will see just how accessible and lovely this person is.
Yeah.
Um,
So it was hilarious. I was like how the big do you and I get it, like it's a brand that you were seeing in even Marcus and you were
yeah.
seeing it in Nordstrom and one of the few at Sephora, and I'm like, it's
So
like and seriously I was saying something like it's like 3 people. Like what are
yeah,
you
yeah.
talking
I think 3 is an exaggeration. I think I think that I'm also like, there's enough people coming to meet him that I'm going to have one of those situations. It's going to be the hottest party of the year at the hottest day of the year, and unfortunately, we're going to have to limit the number of people in our space. So we're going to figure out like some situation where we need a line.
Wait a minute,
Um,
Chris about to be on the sidewalk. Like, look,
I
it's
mean,
like,
if that's the case, lovely.
wait
But like it's special. And of course, again, for those of you who don't know, my mom makes the food and drink. So we have a red, white, and blue drink that's alcoholic,
does she have eggs? That's all. Like, I
egg,
just need
the
to make
deviled
sure
eggs.
that there are deviled eggs.
I don't
I don't
know.
know
She
what else
doesn't
y'all
mention.
doing, but can you please let mom know that I live in these deviled eggs?
I could check, but she's got a pretty hefty list.
I
There
know,
are
I know, I
there
know.
are 3 non-alcoholic drinks, and there are
Oh, it's
3
going down.
alcoholic drinks. So each one is red or white or blue, and then repeat red, white, or blue with alcohol or without. And so I'm so excited. She's so excited. Chris is excited. He's texting me how great this is going to get. Um, and he's taking the train in from New York, and he'll be with us 5 to 7 p.m. And I mean, it's awesome that we get to host him. And this is his 3rd time to our store, by the way, that I can remember at least.
Well, it's the 3rd time that I can remember, so it's probably been more than that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's probably been more than that because this is the 3rd time that I can remember.
yeah.
It's so funny. I was like, and Chris charms him 8 to 80, dumb, crippling, crazy, y'all, because it's just, it's just Justin's mom is like, why can't I come to Philadelphia?
I mean, you could take a flight up if you want, but like
No, well,
he'll come back. He'll come back.
originally Jess was trying to come
Yeah,
for the holiday for 4th of July.
I
And then
remember.
because of all the other things that are happening this month, it got pushed back.
Yeah,
And mom was like, but no, you shouldn't be you should just keep the date that you
let's
had.
go. Yeah, you have a date with the model. with a
Yes,
perfume brand.
I guess I'm going to have to FaceTime her again so she can like scream her scream again.
Mhm. That's He'll welcome it. Like being a down to earth man as he is, it's fun to watch him meet people and fans of his work, and it's fun to host that at our store. Perfumology again allows for that. And once upon a time, there were like 6 people at these events, and now we can't fit more folks in the shop. And this event is a perfect example. We have more RSVPs than fit into our shop. Um, so we are going to figure that out, and we have lots of food and drink. Um,
Just
and
get lots of water. That's really the answer. And of course,
we'll
wait a
have
minute.
water.
So Chris coming and bringing the 103-degree heat is supposed to be the hottest day of 2026.
Yeah, yeah, it will be. And it's like, go figure, of course.
It's supposed to be the, and we're having it Thursday is the official launch of Welcome America. That's the first night of fireworks.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like real bananas anyway. So it's like
This is such a special weekend in Philadelphia. Like we're open half day on Saturday, July 4th. And like, I mean, it's because there's going to be a ton of people around, but we all want to go celebrate. It's not just about the pursuit of happiness. We want to go celebrate with our families. And I encourage that. So it's going to be like a half day. We're going to close up at officially at 2:30. Realistically 3, but please, 2:30 is the real answer. And so we're very excited. And Chris, I know he's going to enjoy himself that night with us and everybody who comes.
you held up the bottles and you said this is the red, white, and blue party. What
Yes.
were the 3 bottles? They were Chris Collins bottles. So I like, yeah.
It was like Villain and Lost in Paradise, and African Rooibos, right? So, or
okay.
I think Villain, yeah. So I was just like, I just picked them up. I remember what the placement is.
You had to say something so they can answer questions. You could have made anything up, but thank you.
But like I remember which ones were, so I know that like that was this one, he released those guys. He released Villain. I'm excited.
Sunset. So it's the newest releases, y'all, are Villain and Sunset and Tamarindo.
Sounds good.
And so I was like, I came in because I was in search of Villain. And Brian's like, oh, but it's Sunset and Tamarindo. I'm like, I don't care about none of that. I need this Villain because I need to spray it all over the mister. So, because in my mind, he about to go from Bruce Wayne to Batman because that's what it said in the commercial. Now, this is when the advertisement gets you.
Yeah.
Okay, this one the advertisement gets you because apparently I'm gonna spray this perfume on the mister and he gonna get taller and he gonna get more fit and he gonna get sexy. He gonna get this muscle climb walls. Everything is about to happen when I spray this perfume on this man.
Yeah.
Hey Sarah, how you doing? Yeah. So in my mind, I have totally fallen for the marketing. Okay, so I'm all the way in on the marketing. Okay, so
I grew up on Batman. I get it. I grew up on Batman. I think that name is such a knockout name. He did great. He knows how to name things. And Don Sauvage was my favorite at the beginning, right? And it got me to like go back to, oh, okay, I remember Josephine Baker now, like that type of thing. So I think he's provocative, and I've seen Autumn Rhythm, which sadly the perfume is discontinued, but like I haven't thought about the painting in a long time because I used to study art in school, and now like I'm like Gotham, Villain, like Batman. I'm like, yes, let's go.
that's how it was when I saw the advertisement. I'm like, did y'all see this? I have no idea what it's supposed to be about, but did y'all see this? Okay. But I will say, even with that, so when I say that when you say the marketing, because I will never get over the baby maker. Okay, I will never get over the baby maker. Do you know about the baby maker? Did we tell you about the baby maker?
What's the baby maker? Make sure I know.
Okay, so we interviewed Chris,
Uh-huh.
And these interviews go wacky. Y'all let her tell us stuff because y'all forget to
Yeah.
be people there and tell us
Yeah.
stuff.
We're
So
talking to a friend right now.
one of the questions was about a favorite layer.
Yeah.
And so he likes to layer lust with Kingmaker. And so then
Got it.
down in
Got
the
it.
comments, the ladies were like, "Oh, that sounds like the
Taken.
baby maker."
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
and that's how he refers to it. He refers to it as the baby maker. And so, but then it got even worse because one of my questions for him is was like, do you have like, would you, as you talk about your artistry, he said, I like to think about a person or a place or whatever. And we're like, oh, well, is there like a celebrity that you would like to create a perfume for? And child, he went all the way down into his being obsessed with Nia Long rabbit hole. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for those people down in the chat, they know that Nia Long, that's one. That's how you know that Chris is 51. That's how you know how old he is.
Yeah.
Because it's a black man of a certain age that is very obsessed with Nia Long. Okay.
That's specific.
And then there's also that in the 90s and 2000s, I think they said there was something like 743 references to Nia Long in various rap and R&B songs.
Yeah.
That this was like everybody's love interest. This is everybody's what. So I was like, so we were like, oh, so you're trying to get Nia Long and introduce it to the baby maker. And he's like, yeah, that would be good. And we're like, sir, you just put that online. And he's like, I did. We're like, yeah. He's like,
there's a dozen people watching this. I'm like, what?
Yes, there's
I've definitely done that. I've definitely not that, but like I've done my own things where it's like, I've had there was this podcast that we were live, and I shared it with my dad. He's like, I can't listen to you say these things. It's like sometimes you have to remember that you're live, and so I've adjusted my language since then to when we're talking live, and become really aware.
Well, I mean, this is a part of the evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember our first interview. We're like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? I'm nervous. Yeah. I'm this, and look at you.
Well, the funny thing is that I don't get nervous as much. Like I do get nervous before. It's not that I don't. And I don't really prepare. I'm kind of pretty much ready at this point, but I get more nervous after I start to think about it a lot.
Like what happened? Okay, but you just didn't tell us that you were trying to hit Nia along with the baby maker. So you good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can always just you're good. But and that has now, and so every time I see him, we laugh about it. It's like a whole joke.
It's a good one, right? Yeah.
It's always a joke, and he's just always killing himself laughing. But I will say Sunset and Tamarindo, which Perfumology does carry, and that was significant because there was some confusion on that. People thought that only Sephora carried it.
It was for a minute. So exclusives make our world, but now we have it.
Yeah. So I need people to know that because there are a lot of people who thought it was just but it was like because like when Savant came out, Nordstrom had it for a whole year.
Yeah, and people were asking us for it. And I was like, can I just have one so that I could share it? He was like, can't. It's exclusive. And that's fine. Exclusivity works. We have tons of exclusives at Perfumology. And frankly, when Chris was starting out, Chris Collins was really exclusive to Perfumology as well. So I don't feel any kind of way other than I want more exclusives. I would love to have one with Chris sometime soon. But the real answer is that exclusivity makes the whole system work. So I did get them. We have Savant, we have Lost in Paradise, and we'll have more. As he edits his brand down too, we will find our way to having more, and the relationship continues. We like working together.
So when are we going to see one of those like Chris Collins by Perfumology perfumes?
That's a fun question. We can talk to him on Thursday about that. We need to see some success here, and they'll come. I believe they'll come, but we've never. Chris and I actually haven't talked about it. But we again, I'm flexible with our brands. I want the brand just as much as our customers and just as much as everybody else to enjoy working with us. I have a fun and unique experience. I call fun. This is not actually. This is the hard stuff. Uh, I want every part of the relationship, whether it's with us and our customers, us and folks like you who aren't technically customers. You're an employee who pays me for perfume, and 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 other folks and our vendors and the people who work around us. I want it to be uh, everybody wins in business. I feel very strong that everybody should win in every deal, whether it's between you and me and Chris Collins, me and Chris Undy, who produced our perfume, us and our partners who sell Perfumology in various forms, and all the other
Oh,
folks that
and
work
that is
with.
something else. People didn't know that. Somebody called me.
Yeah,
They were like, Perfumology is at La Jetée. And I'm like, yeah.
not allowed to say.
Now, what is it?
So
The
so just
CGO?
so
What was it?
I'm,
What was it that the
I'll
girl got
list
the
it.
memories?
So there are 4 stores at the moment. That's not Perfumology. Perfumology, of course, at Third and Market in Philadelphia. We have the first people to take it on was a refinery in Tennessee, in
That's
Nashville,
it. Okay,
which is
and that's what
why
I'm
we
thinking
were
about
picking it
because
up.
La Jetée is in Tennessee. And I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah,
sure they said, okay, there you go. Refinery. And I said,
refinery.
yeah. And I said, no. And I said, they're in a couple of different stores. And
Hmm.
I only remember that because they were so excited to actually get Decadent Memories.
Yeah, you can find us at ZGO, at Refinery, at Baroque Boutique in Houston. You can find us at House of Dubai in Chicago and Extrait Parfum in Connecticut. So 5 stores.
Yeah, their store opened last week, the official store.
Yeah, yeah. And so Kevin's been lovely. He reached out. He had like 147 followers. It's like, hey man, I heard you're like somebody I could talk to. And we've been chatting. He's been super nice. He's asking me a ton of questions, and I kind of pick one person a year maybe who's building to support in this way, where it's just sort of like I answer everybody as much as I can, but sometimes it's a little like he's asking me the right questions.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually did reach out to him. He like the store randomly gave me a follow. And
yeah,
so then I reached out to him.
yeah, it's
Uh,
kind of
of course I would, you're like we got a new perfumery there. So I shared it and tagged all the people I knew who were in that area. So I would
yeah.
love to do an interview with them. Because
No,
I
he's
thought
going to
they
be
were
a
an
nice one.
online realtor. I didn't know they were actually opening the store. So I was like, okay, let's talk. That's cool.
Yeah, he's
Definitely
a
get more
really nice
stuff to
guy.
talk.
Um, and we have a new one coming in Dallas, actually. Roshan Babu. The name of his store, I remember his website is Scentgrade. I don't remember the name of the store. It's going to have a different name. Um, so there will soon be Scentgrade as well. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I mean, but ain't none of them perfumology.
no,
Mhm.
so I'm very aware of that. Um, and it's not, again, the thing that makes us special is how we treat folks. And that the human element is what makes perfumology. And and I'm aware of that from its creators. We just ordered a brand that I feel really exemplifies who we are, which is literally to go to the source, kind of my thing. And so he creates a fragrance that is incredibly well thought out for the source and builds the fragrance around the source, right?
Well, I will have to make sure that I ask you about it offline.
Yeah, yeah. We'll probably get it next week.
Is
Um,
there any tea you can spill about anything that's coming that were, anything that um
what can I tell you about what's coming? So
yeah.
that's Nisaba. It's a brand called Nisaba. Um, you're gonna feel like they're very minimalist, but when I say clean, when I say the like salt of the earth kind of person building it, I really truly think that about Sebastian. His name is Sebastian Tissot, and he sourced materials for one of the big houses, and like came up with this concept, and now with big name perfumers made these fragrances in a way that gives back to where they're from with a lot of education and charity. And so that when I heard the story, it was one thing. When I smelled the work, it was a totally different thing. And I was like, okay, the story, this is the type of thing that I want to support. This is the type of brand. And so I chose it. Now, usually I have a very strict process on how we bring stuff in, and some incredibly rare time, like genuinely once a year, I'm moved to adjust, whether it's by the fragrance itself. Sarah Baker in Peach's Revenge is the fragrance itself. I love the person. The perfume is what drove me to buy the fragrance and the brand. I knew our customers would want it. In this case, I know the person, and I trust the brand, and it how he's giving back and how he's creating, and its soul, the purpose of this perfume, and its sheer clean beauty is what drove me to pick up this fragrance. So it is really spectacular. And some of them are like super clean. My concern is that our perfumery smells very strong. And so I wanted to be noticed in the shop. And so we talked about that as well. Yeah, like how some stuff just like, I don't want it to disappear. Like B&M is some of them are really soft in comparison to these loud fragrances that we carry. So it's a question of like how does a delicate perfume that is sheer beauty compete with the woody amber that got sprayed that's going to last 40 hours. And so that's a concern of mine in the whole shop as well. But Nisaba, what other tea can I share with you? We're in talks with somebody from South Asia.
Rob is his ears are perking up. He's very interested in these South Asian perfume brands.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm interested in. We've spoken about it a few times. So go ahead. We're in talks.
So we'll be finishing. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe I'll need you one day. But this is until this is signed. Until it's signed, I don't actually announce. But this is somebody, if you've been around, you have an idea of who's on the super short list. We have about 30 brands on the short list. And I don't want to bring in more than one a month. We don't have the space and we don't have the budget.
There you go. Again, remember, we have, our size of this group has grown significantly. So they don't know about the one a month. So tell us about that.
So far this year, I think at the end of the year or the beginning of this year, we brought in Niche Perfumerie.
And they are doing such big things. And I always have to tell them, like, they're right in Delaware. And, we have that at Perfumology. This is me. Because we have
global but local. and we launched them. Their launch party was from our shop. Like they're beautiful people. I like working with them. I love Nirav and Ridhima. The brand that I'm talking about is it is South Asian. It is designed by South Asians. It's Western facing. So like there's a lot of food that is easy for us to enjoy. This is not that super spicy thing from the brand that I'm talking about. But Niche Parfum is true to the soul and just beauty. I remember when I smelled Ronnie Pink, I was like, this is what you were missing. This is what we needed. I'm thrilled about it. And so I think that that's accessible, and it brings India to America, and that's what I really want. I went to India to explore more and to get closer to the sources. I didn't actually succeed as much as I wanted. I had to cut my trip short. And so like going to the sources is huge for me. And then we have other brands that we're bringing in. So usually roughly one a month, but I'm out of space. So I might actually use the group to help me with that. I know I have help from the group and folks in the group. So you might see some stuff happening where we are making these adjustments to make room. But there's also some...
So pay attention because, I see Sarah Lee down there. Pay attention, Sarah Lee. Because she's like, they're the best. I'm like, shh.
there's some stuff going on. And
So near is worse than us with our lack of ability to declutter. So we always talk about this. We're like, oh yeah, we should one in and one out. That's what we should do. We
it,
should want no
I
instead we just
wish
put them in a
I
box.
wish it were that simple for me. And like good for you guys. For me, I develop relationships and I go to Excellence, I go to PPW, I wish I went to SF. And I think to myself, like, I gotta stop going to these shows because I want to work with the people. I want the like brand in a different way. And so when we remove a brand, when we edit, it's like this, I feel like I'm hurting a friend. I feel like it's a breakup, and that's not really what I want. So yeah,
So
I'm
that
really
was one of
bad.
the questions today. They were like, "Do you ever declutter something and you wonder, like, does that hurt the brand's feelings?" Like, this is one of the things we were talking about it
If it
because
came out of my shop, the answer is yeah. If it came out of your collection, the answer is not really. Um, all of us want you to enjoy the fragrances that we create. And I'm using that kind of generally and speaking for the industry. The industry really wants you to enjoy this. Um, and it needs to go and it needs to be with somebody that's going to wear it and appreciate it to some extent. Uh, so yeah, I want you all to love my work, but I want this to be enjoyed by the people who will enjoy it. Otherwise, if you look at it and you're like, eh, like I'd rather you declutter. Uh, at our store is a different story because I'm developing these relationships and I love the people. I really do. I love their work. I really do. Sometimes it doesn't translate to you at home keeping it. And if you have the fragrance that you want to declutter, and if most of your collection is on the declutter list from somebody's work, like it doesn't exactly work with us. So if I can't sell 5 perfumes, I have to figure it out. There's one brand that I'm thinking about right now that it's just like I need to figure this out. And then he texts me and I'm like, I love the dude, right? Uh, so like um, I have to detach to some extent, and I'm not really that great at that. Um, but at the same time, that same passion and love for the product and for the fragrances, I believe is what sets us apart. Again, like that's the heart of this industry of this business is what sets us apart in the industry. Um, and I hope to influence more people to throw their heart at the stuff they love and at perfumery. And the result of this is that I do get heartbroken, um, and it is worth it. I love this. So it is worth throwing all of my heart and all of my soul into this so that I get to do it more. So I get to bring in more people and that more of those folks like that guy I talked about earlier comes into our store and says, I've never experienced anything like this. I never wanted to stop when they've shopped for perfumes and said that they didn't like it. They just didn't find the experience, the right products. And frankly, I implore all of you. I know all of you are shopping at other stores. Keep doing it. We welcome you, and I'm thrilled that Perfumology provides that stellar experience that you deserve.
So now, thinking about all the multitude of your collection, not just Perfumology, what would you say is your personal most worn fragrance?
Okay, so there's 2 ways to answer this, and I answer both because I used to be upset. I was like, there is none. No, but there is. And there are 2 answers, and the finite answer I'll finish with in a second. Uh, I am wearing stuff that's new to our shop or in production or not ready for production more often than not. So I'm most often wearing a fragrance that's not made yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's me in my office, stinking up the place here and saying, is this good for 10 hours? as I do work. And I'm wearing like several, right? Like I'll wear them all at the same time. When I need to focus, I'll focus on one on this side and one on this side, and 7 and 8, 17 and 18. You know, whatever number it is, I'm wearing both of them so I can compare the very minute details at the same time on the same body. And I might do that to folks like you. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, the perfume I wear the most, actually, there was two answers to this. It was Marc Antoine Ganymede. We are the first to import Ganymede to the United States. That was kind of a stroke of luck. I know that I was the first to get my order in and the first to receive it. And I was like, this is it. And lo and behold, that fragrance changed the industry's perspective on leather. And Hibiscus Mahajad being a perfect example of that, where they put a red fruit and a red flower on top of suede, which I don't know that they would have thought about that without Ganymede. The other one has changed. I didn't used to wear this, but then Lissa, my wife, said one day, "You're wearing it again, aren't you?" Now, when you have 1,000 to 100 perfumes at your store and you have a few dozen at home, and I'm understating this, and who knows how many more perfumes that I don't even count, and there's it. I'm sorry, repeat that. You're wearing it again, right? Which means that there's one perfume that she finds it, and that is Clive Christian Rock Rose.
And I was wondering, was that still true?
Yeah. So that's still true.
I actually told somebody that, and I was like, I said, well, near it. They were like, oh, do they carry Clive Christian? I said, they'll always carry it because he has to wear his Rock Rose.
It is a really pretty fragrance. It is bold. It wears nicely. I really like labdanum. It is a great resinous fragrance, and it. As somebody who doesn't hunt for perfume compliments, to get one for my wife that's that strong is like, yeah, I'm gonna keep wearing that. So the answer is those two. I wear one on dates. I wear one to weddings. Sometimes I wear both, but probably just one. And I enjoy people's reactions to them.
What does she like about it? Because maybe we need to add some of the accord to it. And
you'll be able to ask her on Thursday. I actually started working on one and had one with John Beeble called Labdanum JB. And he wasn't able to make it a second round, so we're working on another thing. He made a really pretty oak moss as well. The Labdanum he made was fantastic. We have one guy, he's like, give me every drop you have. I can't get enough, because it was gone. It's gone. It's never going to be made again. So Labdanum JB from John Beeble was a fantastic fragrance, and I do plan to do more. We are launching with 9 fragrances right now with Accords that should be out October or November. I really hope for October because I have a very specific deadline. I'll be at Scent Explore. And then the other thing is...
did y'all catch that?
Yeah, we'll be at Scent Explore with a huge launch.
That's
launch.
Really be fake working, fake work. I'm really going to be fake working at Scent Explore. So y'all can find, you can scream the auntie.
So you can come out and see us there. And so I have the deadline for that. That's 9 fragrances. Then I hope to release something every spring and every fall after that. Okay. From the Accords. And I don't mean something like one perfume. I mean, it's going to be like at least 3 perfumes every round. No, I'm serious. When you go big, right? So
you released a story every, twice a year.
For that fragrance line, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the goal would be to keep hitting what people are asking us for and that people love, and then to do it from different angles. So the best example is actually going to be that tuberose that we are starting with, or the rose that we're starting with. One from Natalie, one from Sarah McCartney. And it's like, okay, well, what does Damask rose smell like? And how do we compare that? And how does that compare to Turkish rose? Well, those are going to be pretty similar, or Bulgarian rose and Saltaflor. Those two are spicy, very bold. I want a Bulgarian rose. I'm going to
Yeah,
take my
I
time
love
getting them.
rose. Turkish rose is like soft and girly to me.
Yeah, and so I want to take my time, or a pink rose versus a white rose versus the red rose, and so there's different ways for us to look at this that I'm not finished, and I don't know that I can finish. That's intentional. I don't need seven roses. I want seven roses. It's also like a question of how do I tackle this piece by piece in a smart way that really is effectively telling the story that I want our customers to enjoy and that they want to enjoy, which is how many times can you do jasmine, really? Well, at least three that I can think of. Um, and I'm going to tackle them piece by piece.
Well, I know. So y'all don't know that one of the reasons that we had to go a little bit earlier and logistics all got crazy is because Near had a prior commitment today, but I was determined that we were still going to get this in before the big Chris Collins event because I really wanted to just talk about Pursuit of Happiness. So,
Thank you.
I could, flex on the hose on Thursday when I hold the bottle up. So, my own selfish reason. So we had to go a little bit earlier in the day
Yeah, thank you.
because yes, the lovely wife is needing to be picked up in her fabulous sports car with her, with her muscled man. And they're going to have them a great time. So I'm hoping that you're wearing your rock rose and that you're all ready to be reunited with wifey.
I can't wait.
Always, it was a pleasure, and I see the folks down in the chat. Don't forget, y'all will have some questions for you as I beg for whatever y'all gift gonna be for listening to this. But they're laughing. Pursuit of just like we just want to smell Pursuit of Happiness. We just want to smell it. But it is always a pleasure, always exciting. And of course, I will see you on Thursday at my fake job. I will be reporting for duty early.
Thank you so much, Danielle. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see all of you. And the pre-order is available. You have to search for it. It doesn't have.
Oh, there you go. So
there's no information.
Although you get the store, I get to go to the store all the time.
Come to the shop if you can.
It's always open online, and I will tell you. And people every time they order, they tell me, like, I got this in like 2 days.
Yeah, because I don't want to keep it. It's yours.
In Orlando, she called me. She was like, how did I get this already? I'm like, I said, because when they said they was taking the order, it was like I was standing there and Jefferson was packing it up and Brian was getting it out today. So this is definitely the Gita experience. Also, they are not decanters, but there's a sample mystery pack subscription that you can do, right?
So the subscription pack is every month you get 3 or more fragrances, and we will have both versions of Pursuit of Happiness in this month. So you get the regular and you get the special edition at the same time.
Yeah. So there's lots of ways that you can enjoy Perfumology at home. But really, come on now. Y'all know y'all want to come to Philadelphia and meet me in person because he is really, really a font of information and generally a good time. So you see how well it went behind the screen. Just imagine how it is in person. I hope that everybody had a great time. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to us on the Book of Faces. Add them to the comment section there, and we'll see how we can continue to foster your goodwill down there. By spinning the wheel shortly. So don't forget, because there were some nuggets in here, and I know only y'all know because y'all watched it. Thank you so much again, Near. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Take care.